there are some types of businesses or like general types of marketing where the feedback loop is quite small and short, right? E-commerce is probably the shortest. When it comes to knowing if your marketing is working,
Right.
e-commerce is probably the shortest. B2C generally tends to be fairly short
Yes.
relative to B2B. B2B, you could a prospect could encounter your marketing for the first time on January 1st, and that company doesn't buy until July of the next year, right? There are lots of, I work mostly B2B, you work mostly B2B, mostly
Yes.
enterprise companies, right? The sales cycle can be like 2 years long or longer. And so when you're in marketing and you're interim as a CMO or a fractional CMO, how do you know you're winning? I guess is the way I want to put it.
It depends. It depends what the objectives are.
Yeah.
I mean, when I've helped companies with, say, Net Promoter Score 3.0, implementing that, and they've seen results within 6 months in their, industry scores, and they've seen an improvement in customer satisfaction and improved net revenue retention, you're winning something there. In terms of, long selling cycles, generally, assuming companies have done a good job defining their ideal customer profile, you look for signals like, when you look at metrics, there are different types of metrics. There are activity metrics that shows how busy marketing is, and that's not something the C-suite's interested.
No.
There's output or result metrics that show what the outputs are of those activities. Then there's impacts like Net Promoter Score, revenue, bookings, etc. If you are an enterprise company and you're, and you have a long selling cycle, you want to engage companies, you want to engage prospects. You probably have some kind of account-based marketing motion, and engaging some of the people at target companies is an output of your activities. You may not be getting revenue from it yet.
Sure.
And, looking at nurture flows and the response you get from nurturing people, looking at, how much of buying committees you have engaged are all kind of things you can look at along the journey. But I think it's important for companies, especially enterprise companies, to understand the buyer's journey, understand the different touch points, both marketing and sales across that journey, and have some metrics that let you monitor that as best you can. It's also who you target. I mean, you can have you can look at total addressable market, which is really broad, and then your total relevant market, which gets down to the ideal customers you're trying to drive, and then accounts that are in market. If you have intent information and you can see people are coming to your website or your competitor's website looking for the types of products and services you offer, that's a leading indicator as well.
All right.
That's a tough question, but and the other thing is B2B is multi-touch. So it's not first touch or last touch attribution. That doesn't get you very far. So you have to look across those touches. What companies can do sometimes is do a deal postmortem. If you look at 50 deals, let's say 25 you won and 25 you lost, and you look at what the touch points were in the won versus lost deals, and you see a difference there, that can give you some element of where you're being successful. Does that help? It's a difficult question, but
it's a deliberately difficult question.
Yeah.